Welcome back to the InherAlchemist TV. In today's video, we are going to be doing a couples therapy session through the tarot. So before we get started, I need you guys to like this video. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and also that you have your notification bells on. So our session number 1 is going to be involving our clients, Latisha and Marcel Scott. Before I get started, I want to clarify that this is for entertainment purposes only. But having said that, let's jump right in and get started. Let's get started. So I have the cards pulled and the reading is opening up with the eyes and focus clearly on Marsau as the King of Pentacles, and that's clarified by the Six of Swords. Now, the King of Pentacles is describing his energy right now as a person who's feeling kind of powerful in their demeanor, feeling like they're being very enterprising, or that they're mastering their industry and what they're involved in. He's taking pride right now in trying to establish himself as a provider or caregiver, or at least put himself out there in that image, in that light. He is trying to be mostly helpful, trying to be available, but there's a sense of some type of emotional baggage that is carried from the past that keeps him from actually firmly, emotionally rooting himself in this family dynamic. I see that he's the type of person that likes to run away from problems, and running doesn't always mean leaving a situation. Although with the Six of Swords, it does emphasize travel, and a lot of times that travel is overseas. And coupled with this King of Pentacles and the Six of Swords representing that emotional baggage, it could be some emotional baggage left over from a travel that happened overseas in the past. However, this is showing me also that this person, rather than deal with things emotionally or confront problems emotionally, they tend to detach by going into things like their work, or trying to find ways to make money, or invent things, or trying to join in new industries. But this is all giving me like a sense of avoidance with this Six of Swords. Is giving me a sense of someone that abandons their primary responsibility up into the kids. And I'm showing one of the kids here is growing up, maybe taking on their first love, and maybe needing someone to help them navigate through that. And it looks like the father is just kind of detached and worried about nothing but business and success, and establishing some type of relationship with the outside world at the expense of his own family. This person is also susceptible to temptation. And that's also one of his forms of escapism, is to go and join with other people. So the question of fidelity or infidelity, yes, I would almost guarantee that that's a theme within their household or within their relationship. But I also see it as a way of him trying to avoid things that he doesn't want to confront emotionally. There's a lot of emotional baggage with this person, and it doesn't necessarily always have to do with the person that they're with. I also show a need of this person to Marsau is trying to establish full control of his finances. Now, we already know with him and Latisha, she has the majority stake in a lot of their businesses. And I'm showing that maybe this is a sense of discomfort for him. And it's possible to me, just looking at the cards, that he kind of uses this detachment or this going away as a way to kind of undermine her authority or her power that she has over their finances. What he's failing to communicate is that he's looking for a more equal ground and footing, and not to feel so vulnerable to the power that she holds. And so he's going out of the way to establish himself financially. Now, I don't know if that includes him necessarily making businesses that don't have anything to do with Latisha, or he could be establishing some overseas relationships. Now, that could be tricky because, listen, we got them Nigerian scammers, okay? And you do not want to be a person that's investing in gold digging, literal gold digging, and then your Nigerian scammer ends up in jail somewhere, and you done lost all your money that you spent on the tractor. Okay? If that story sounds a little close to home, it's because it is. Listen, it happened to my cousin before. I mean, men are gullible, especially men in business. I don't know what that's about. But I say that to say, I feel like with this King of Pentacles and this Six of Swords, he's trying to get involved in some type of overseas deals, or he's dealing with some type of foreigners, and he's trying to do this outside of the relationship. So right now, the issue of his distance or his infidelity may or may not be a matter of intimacy. It may be a matter of taking on some secret financial undertakings, if you will. It's about him trying to make alliances and trying to wield other relationships to his advantage. And like I said, I really do believe that it's to leverage himself better. Maybe not in a relationship, but in life. I don't know. Sometimes when I look at his character, I think that some of the condescension that he has towards Latisha has to do with like an underlying resentment or contempt because of her power position within the relationship. That's just how I see it. So yeah. But in any event, as a father, the King of Pentacles is someone who does want to be provider, does want to be the caretaker. Now, if there's some nefarious, intent behind that or not, I don't know. We'll have to look at it, right? We'll look at it as it goes. But for the most part, it just looks like he has like 2- and 3-fold motivations for why he's doing some of the things that he's doing that is causing a rift between the relationship, and there is a rift right now. Now, the Six of Swords is here, like I said, that represents travel, literal physical travel. Could be overseas, could be a small trip, but on a mental, spiritual, and emotional level, it represents you moving forward from something but taking the baggage with you. Wherever you go, there you are. And there's at least one major milestone in their relationship that they have not been able to master or get past. And like I said, I really feel like it has to do with the male ego. And him knowing that he's pretty much vulnerable to her. Maybe the extent of his lies, or the extent of his cover-ups, or the extent of how he has to move so secretively. Maybe that all has to do with the fact that she has so much power in the relationship, and it kind of keeps him from being honest or being upfront, knowing the potential consequences of that. So maybe there's a bit of fear behind that, but I don't show any fear, like literal fear, but maybe it's like a background motivation to some of this behavior of his, should I say, which I feel like it's really a dissociative thing. We have the 4 of Cups and we have the 6 of Swords. Those are both cards of disassociating, detaching, running away, not trying to hear it, being apathetic and bored, just everything that would be the antithesis of intimacy, right? There's something about Marcel that lacks intimacy, and it has to do with him having baggage, emotional baggage. There's a sense of him trying to get beyond the rough waters that are. And I think it has to do with maybe even some soul searching, It has to do with cutting some losses as it pertains to business or even certain relationships and trying to move on. I feel like there's still some difficulties, though. I feel like there's still some hurdles. It's like one side of the water in this card is smooth sailing, but the other side is still very turbulent, right? And that side of the turbulence is sitting right to the right of the wife in this card. So I feel like there's still some turbulence when it comes to he and Latisha's relationship. Now, what's behind them is the 10 of, I don't even want to say behind them, I'm going to say below, right? As above, so below. The above card is the 4 of Cups, but the below card is the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. The 10 of Pentacles in reverse is discord all across the board. We have the King of Pentacles, right? That's the father. That's the leader of this household. But the 10 of Pentacles in reverse says that there's some underlying strife. Most definitely there. There's a sense of disunity or a lack of comfort, or I don't know, somebody who feels like they were used to a certain amount of stability or just kind of being set in their ways. And I feel like this is kind of like disrupted a little bit. I don't know if that has to do with money, though, because we have that King of Pentacles and we have that 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So I don't know if there was some type of overseas investment that he was trying to make behind Latisha's back, trying to do something on his own, but something may have fallen apart. And now it seems to be like there's some issues with money, or there's some arguments over money, and maybe he doesn't want to discuss it. Maybe he's not trying to give the necessary conversation or FaceTime behind the questions that need to be answered about what's going on. Like I said, it looks like he just tries to detach. He throws up the hand, tries to push off the conversation in a myriad of ways. This does have to do with some type of family business too. So like I said, I don't know if he dipped into their resources together. The Six of Swords is about movement. It's about travel. It's about a journey. I wonder if this has to do with him financing Wanda's food truck. And if there's some type of, not bribery, but some type of, what do you call it? Like emotional blackmail, where somebody throws something in somebody's face and, acts like they're going to get them to behave this way or that way because of an investment they made. It could be something like that. But with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, this is a family who's not happy. They're not enjoying each other's company at the moment. There's a sense of detachment. There's a sense of things being cold. There's a sense of somebody not feeling fulfilled. I don't know if there's somebody who feels like they're out of the circle of trust, or he has put himself out of the circle of trust. Maybe he feels like his efforts are not being appreciated or reciprocated. Maybe that's creating the imbalance a little bit. But like I said, with no communication, how do we even get to the bottom of this? Whatever the feeling is, he's not communicating it. He just does things to maybe undermine Latisha in a way. I don't know. That's just the kind of vibe I'm getting, especially with this attachment. Now, we know there's discord with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse in the below, and how that's playing out above is the Four of Cups, which is like a complete 180 from this energy they were just in. They were literally just in a recent past enjoying marital bliss, if you will. The Four of Wands is here. This is about being married and feeling happy about it. This is about having a strong friendship group. This is about Latisha having women around her that she feels like she can trust. This is about being able to celebrate and really kind of like luxuriate in the love of what they've accomplished. And now that's just kind of deteriorated to the Four of Cups, where the love is now being offered and somebody is like acting like they don't want it. And it's like, okay, so what is the point? Like, why go through the fake marriages or the vow renewals or the reigniting the flame only to turn right back around and just be not interested? It's like, where is this roller coaster of emotion coming from? Why is he so unstable emotionally? And it makes you wonder if that's why he avoids emotions with all the sarcasm and, again, business talk, or being very business about the way that he communicates and conducts his relationship with Latisha. It's very stoic, if you will. It's very cold. Yeah, just like that Ten of Pentacles said in reverse. Now it's time, though, with that Four of Cups. It's like, I feel like this Four of Cups is giving me an energy like you need to reevaluate yourself. And then the Three of Swords came out in reverse. And the Three of Swords is about you needing to apologize. It's about you needing to come clean. You needing to reconcile. You needing to make amends because something that is off balance is actually your fault. The Four of Cups is like saying you wanted more. Marcel wanted more. He wants more. He wants something different from his environment, from his circumstances. I don't even think he knows exactly what it is. And that's what gives me the vibe of this Six of Swords, this journey being like a soul journey. But how you going to find yourself if you take everything with you wherever you go? But there's a sense of him needing to find himself because he's wanting something different. But I don't know if he either knows how to communicate that or identify that, or if he even knows what it is himself. But there's a sense of discomfort or dissatisfaction. I think he's starting to look into his own self to determine why he's feeling dissatisfied. Why are you dissatisfied? Why can't you be comfortable with what you've accomplished? And I think it's about his position in the family. I mean, the King of Pentacles is the leader, and if that's something that inherently that you don't have because you're being dishonest, it's my opinion that when a man lies to a woman, not only is the issue of disrespect, but it's also an issue of you placing yourself beneath that woman. Even if it's on a subconscious level, even if it's having to do with your own mentality. Even if she treats you like a king, when you lie to a woman, you're automatically submitting, even if you don't do it on the outside. And I don't know. I feel like that plays a part in it for whatever reason. There's something about him needing to reflect on himself and needing to look at his path. Maybe even needing to close off from the outside world and really stay home. Really spend more time on being introspective and really evaluating this love and understanding what his purpose is, and really coming to grips with the type of man that he is, and really accepting that and being able to say that. It's almost like he's reached this point in his life where he's trying to understand his own self, as opposed to maybe the role that he's been into, right? There's some sort of wisdom here that's being gained. There's some sort of call to evaluate your personal choices and things that you've done. But what did you do though? But then there's also like this defense too, though. It's almost like he's defending himself. And again, I feel like he's defending himself through undermining Latisha and also being distant and closed off and apathetic. He acts like as if nothing bothers him or if he doesn't care. But at the same time, there is a sense of him being withdrawn right now. Whether it's from the party or the gathering or new things coming in that are being offered. There's a sense of him wanting to turn that down because of things that are going on the home front. I think it was Jay-Z who said in some lyrics, he was like, we ain't going to no parties if me and my wife beefing. You know what I mean? I don't see Marcel as being that emotionally in tune per se, but at the same time, the sentiment is clearly, if shit ain't right on the home front, I ain't really trying to kick it like that. That's kind of how I feel. It's kind of how I feel right now. Now, the Five of Wands is in the future position 3 to 6 months, and the Knight of Cups is here. Now, the Knight of Cups could represent, for me, I feel like this represents the young man, maybe their oldest child. Maybe there's a relationship he's interested in, but I also see a little bit of romanticism coming from Marcel. Maybe there's something that he wants to offer Latisha. Maybe there's more dates. There is a sense of reconciliation or them putting something back together. The Magician is there. That represents maybe a doctor, a therapist. It's clarified by the Two of Cups in reverse. That to me represents, I don't know, maybe speaking to somebody that specializes in couples that are having issues, especially with this Three of Swords, the Knight of Cups, the Five of Wands in reverse, the Magician, and the Two of Cups. That to me shows me that there's a third party, that a professional, maybe a spiritual person, maybe not a religious person, but maybe a spiritual person, that they have trying to give them some type of guidance on how to reconcile this relationship. Maybe they're looking for new ways of doing things, or I don't know. It's like a period. I don't know. It's like they're coming from there's a lot of fighting right now. There's a lot of fighting amongst the family right now. And they're looking for ways to kind of get back on track. Marcel feels like he's proved himself already. So he feels like he doesn't need to explain himself. But at the same time, he does want to, I don't know, maybe be sympathetic. With this Knight of Cups, I'm also getting the energy of somebody kind of tapping more into their feminine side. But this is after reflection, self-reflection. So I don't know if he's maybe looking at himself and he's thinking about how he's been maybe more logical or, I don't know, masculine brained, if you will. But now I'm seeing like an ushering of more feminine energy. This Knight of Cups is definitely giving me feminine energy. I feel like also Marcel feels like he's beat somebody in a competition. He feels like he's charmed his way through some type of, battle, competition. I don't know. He feels like he has finessed something. Now listen, let me tell it. I say, yeah, you finessed something, all right. You finessed the whole storyline. That's what you finessed for sure. But this is about him feeling like he was involved in maybe like a cutthroat competition, and he won it through grace and cunning and charm and softness, as opposed to coming with some like hardcore cutthroat energy, and I feel like he felt like he was able to dead the fight or end the fight, whatever that was, by softening his approach, right? Now, could that fight be with the millimeters or the fans? And we know that he's been coming off as kind of charming and things like that. Yeah, could be that. It could be that. We can expect to see more of that from him moving forward. But the Page of Cups is here in reverse, and that does represent manipulative energy. It is in Marcel's external environment, so it could represent him being manipulated by a mother figure. The Empress is here, right? Now, what's tripping me out about this spread is that there's a lot of women here. There's the Queen of Pentacles here. There's the Queen of Wands here, and the Queen of Wands in tarot represents the other woman. It represents competition. It represents two women competing against each other when there's two queens in a spread. Unless some woman got a sister somewhere or some auntie somewhere. And then you have that Empress card, which represents a mother or a child's mother in the external environment. So this is yet a third woman intervening in a situation. But there's two women locking heads right now, for sure. There is definitely competition. But I also feel like these women represent some type of support or allies or something that Marcel has, where people are going to be speaking up for him or taking up for him or on his side in something. Now, what that means, I'm not sure. But it's saying that he's winning over a lot of women. Now, again, you got that Knight of Cups there. The Knight of Cups has to do with, it's boyfriend energy. You know what I mean? So I don't know if he's giving out that wink, that holla, something that's letting women lower their guard and feel like they're in more support of him, if you get what I'm saying. Definitely the Queen of Wands is here. Like I said, that represents the other woman. Could be a white or lighter skinned, lighter complected woman. The Queen of Pentacles represents a darker complected woman. This could be Kimmy and Tisha, right? We know that they're sisters, so it could be just as simple as that. The Empress card is here, clarified by the Page of Cups in reverse. My first instinct when I saw this was like, there was a pregnant woman and maybe there's like an estranged relationship with a child. But I'm not getting, I have the Ten of Pentacles here in reverse, and that does represent strife in the family, but I'm not getting a heavy familial tone out of this energy. I'm getting more so energy of like a manipulative mother figure. Maybe someone that's kind of like on the needy side, or someone that's, I don't know, maybe there's like I don't want to say a childishness with a mother figure, but maybe I'm getting a vibe of, I don't know, maybe somebody is influencing the situation that's kind of like unrealistic, or imposing on a situation and they're being unrealistic due to their immaturity. Now, the Page of Cups also represents younger women, younger children. And with the Empress card, it can represent the relationship between Latisha and their daughter, right? And maybe that's something that she needs help with right now, or maybe that's something where he needs to kind of check in on that situation. You know, mothers and daughters have growing pains regardless. Now, this could be Latisha and her mother, or this could be Latisha and her daughter. Latisha could be the child, and the Empress could be her mother, or Latisha could be the mother, and the Page of Cups could be Latisha's child. But there's a negative connotation to this relationship. There's something impulsive happening. There's maybe some like emotional instability, or somebody feeling not solid. Maybe because of what's going on with the family. Maybe this is one of the little daughters, and because of what's going on with her parents, maybe she's having a little bit of up and downs with the emotions. And I don't know if Latisha's caught up in Marsau to the exclusion of the child. Maybe she needs her mother. Maybe it's a child that's picking up on the cues in the environment and is being affected by it in some type of way. Definitely. Then you have that Two of Cups in reverse that we also talked about next to the Magician. And to me, the Magician can be a card of power and manifestation, but the Magician is also a person. And this is in a hopes and fears. So the Magician could represent, like I said, a doctor, a therapist, or something like that, a relationship coach. But this is going to be like a non-traditional route, though. So I don't know if they're, like I said, I feel like this is maybe like a coach that's trying to help them find the balance in their relationship. Socially, professionally, romantically, with money. There's an element of them not trusting each other when it should not be that way, but it's because of the strife and discord and the emotional baggage and the way that Marcel handles problems, which is, like I said, either resentfully or underminingly, or detaching, or being apathetic or bored or not tuned in. Maybe that's creating a sense of mistrust in Latisha. There's some misunderstandings for sure with the Two of Cups in reverse, though. But I feel like this conflict that they're having, there's tension, don't get me wrong, but this type of tension can only be worked out with open communication, with people being honest. And I feel like whatever it is that they have going on, for the most part, there's some misunderstandings, but it's almost like the misunderstandings is in regards to the way that somebody is moving. You know what I mean? Definitely some misunderstanding. And then to end out the reading, we have the Five of Cups, but we also have the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is not a good energy. The Nine of Swords is, this is stress. This is stress. Now, from a female perspective, this is hot flashes or night sweats, or somebody waking up in cold sweats. With the Five of Cups being in reverse, maybe there's some type of fear over the ending of a relationship, and somebody's having some bad dreams about it. You know what I mean? Maybe it's something that somebody continues to think about, or having trouble sleeping about, or grieving about. You know, whatever period of time that they are going through, because this is current or to come, because in the recent past, they were just happy, and they're not happy anymore in this moment, but they were literally just riding high. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to say Marcel is bipolar, but you know, with this Page of Cup representing emotional instability, it's almost giving me a vibe of, is that him and his mother? It looks like females, Page of Cups is typically a girl. But for him to swing in the pendulum from being totally there and present to now acting totally disinterested, that can be hard to keep up with. And I think that's what he does. But again, I think he does it as a way to exercise some type of control in a relationship. Something feels hard, though. You know? I don't know. They got some deep shit going on. You know what I mean? The Three of Swords is here. The Five of Cups is here. They're both in reverse, but they're both cards of loss. You know, and again, we know this family has been through a lot of grief. You know, it could be that too. It could be the need of something new, some new friendships, some new connections, not recycling the same energy. But Marcel might be seeking out the wrong connections. Like I said, you're looking at some shady overseas investments. That's not how you do that. But I still feel like there's an element of grief. There's like a haunting feeling with the Five of Cups in reverse and the Nine of Swords. Somebody feels haunted by the loss of someone. Yeah, the loss of a loved one for sure. Somebody's losing sleep over the loss of somebody that they love. You know, and again, I don't know if this has to do with Latisha and her feelings. I don't know if it's reverted to her. But maybe there's something going to come out about her feeling guilty about something. Maybe she tries to push through and ignore those feelings. But there's something that keeps her from sleeping at night, maybe. Or one of them from sleeping at night. For sure. I feel like these feelings are not caused by her directly or her direct thoughts, but there's something that is like out of her control. Thinking about this in this type of way is out of her control. You know, and listen, for all intents and purposes, maybe the issue is not with the couple. You know, I notice with women, when we go through personal changes and things that we need to deal with our own life, we tend to blame our partners, and men too, don't get me wrong. But everything that's wrong in your life is not always the people around you, but specifically your relationship. Your relationship is what it is. You're going to have ups and downs and problems. But it's always wise to look within yourself as well, or first. Because sometimes it's that what you're going through as a woman individually, you're projecting onto your relationship. You know, and your spouse could be none the wiser. Now, hopefully, if you're lucky enough to say I do to somebody, you're getting with a man who can read through that, not in an attempt to manipulate you or change the course of your mind, but to isolate what you may be going through as a woman from what you guys may be going through as a couple. Because this, to me, looks like Latisha's being haunted. Like, I don't want to say no ghost, you know, I don't want to get too creepy, but there's like this, there's a sense of guilt. There's some guilt here. And I think it's a personal thing, you know? But anyways, listen, let me know what you guys think of this couples therapy session. Did you take anything from it? What do you think that they will take from it? And I'll see you guys for our next session with our next couple. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure that your notification bells are on. Peace.